Before we preview our first team today, we want to bring in college basketball analysis and this year's CAA Women's Basketball Insider, Monica McNutt. Monica, thank you so much for joining us today, as I'm sure you are excited that the college basketball season is right around the corner.
Thanks for having me, Bobby. It is the most wonderful time of year. We're all pumped and excited and ready for the ball to get tipped up.
Absolutely. And Monica, you look at the preseason team and the predicted order of finish. What immediately sticks out to you?
Well, two teams kind of stood out to me, Bobby. And first would be Towson, and then the second would be Northeastern, slated at 3 and 6 respectively. Those are two teams that are coming off an impressive season last year. Now, granted, I know that Northeastern lost their 1,500-point score in Genco, but that's a group that I'm wondering if they can continue to turn the corner on what they were able to do in terms of history last year. And then Towson. Coach Diane Richardson, who I must admit, I don't know what word we want to use, was a high school coach when I was playing basketball in the Washington, D.C. area. So I have known her for years. I, for one, am not surprised by the turnaround that she's created with the Towson Tigers. But that's another one who I think, will this group take even another step under Richardson's leadership and considering what they were able to accomplish last year?
Of course, the season begins with the non-conference portion of the schedule. Who has the potential to make the biggest splash early on?
Listen, this one, Bobby, far and away would be the James Madison Dukes and Coach O'Regan. You look at that squad's non-conference schedule, they are not playing any games. They've got Georgetown, they've got Maryland. I mean, they're definitely knocking out the powers here in the local area. They go to Virginia for a holiday tournament. So if his team can get through this gauntlet and come out with some wins, quite honestly, you'll be looking at them receiving some major votes to get inside that top 25, assuming that those teams on those schedules stay healthy and are as good as they are predicted to be.
It was indeed a wild conference tournament at the end of last year. What do you think the league race will look like this season?
Well, I do agree with the poll and James Madison and Drexel being two programs that are well established in this conference. But I mentioned it, Towson, Hofstra, UNCW, Northeastern. I think the beauty of our conference is that each game gives you an opportunity to compete at a high level. James Madison, Drexel, they know that there's absolutely a target on their back, and rightfully so. We saw the mayhem last year during the conference tournament, and it was beautiful. So I'm expecting teams to compete night in and night out. I think obviously we'll all be tuning in a little bit closer when we get to February, but I mean, Hofstra and James Madison, you remember it, Bobby. This is why we love what we do.
That is right. Monica McNutt, thank you so much for joining us today. Look forward to having your insight as our CAA Women's Basketball Insider throughout the year.
Thanks for having me, Bobby. I can't wait till we really get some games under our belt.